Dividing by decimals. So in our last lesson, we learned how to divide a decimal by a whole number. Now we are going to learn how to divide a decimal or any number by a decimal. So the decimal is going to be outside of the division box. I have three examples for you, and I will talk you through each one. The first one is 3.6 divided by 1.2. So I'm going to put this in our long division box, 3.6 divided by 1.2. We always have to make sure we put the right number inside the box. So that first number is what goes inside. Right? That is our divisor. So now what we do is we have to, on the outside, our dividend, we have to make sure that the decimal point is furthest to the right. So what I am going to do is I am going to move that decimal point so that it is right there. Now what I have to do, what I do out here, I also have to do in here. So I am going to move it right there. And then what we always do is once we move it, we bring this decimal point up so that our quotient also has the divisor or the decimal point in the right place. So once we moved it, and then brought it up, now we can divide how we normally would. We have 12 divided, or 36 divided by 12. So how many times does 12 go into 36? That's 3 times. 3 times 12 is 36. We subtract and we get 0. So the answer to this equation is 3. Let's look at our second example. We have 2 52 divided by 4 tenths. And when we divide, remember we move our decimal point as far to the right as we possibly can. So we move this one place. What we are going to do to the inside or the divisor is we are going to move it the same amount. So we move it one place over, and then we bring it straight up. Move it over, move it over, move it up. So now, essentially what we have, we just kind of erase this, we have 4. 4 goes into 25 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24. We subtract, and then we bring down this next number. 4 goes into 12 3 times. So see how I kept the digits of my quotient directly above the digit I'm dealing with. 3 times 4 is 12. We subtract and we get 0. That means we're done. So our answer is 6 3/10. And our last example, 42 3/10 divided by 12 100ths. This was going to be a little bit different, but we do the same procedure. So on the outside, our dividend, we're going to move the decimal place as far to the right as we can, counting our places. 1, 2. We're going to put our decimal there. Now we're going to do the same thing here. We have to move it 2 places to the right over here too. 1, 2. Okay. So you notice we had to keep a space there. If this happens, we put a 0 there. And we put the decimal point here, then we bring it up. So we move it over, move it over, move it up. Now, if this confuses you, we can kind of do that. Look at that, it makes a 12. 12 goes into 42 3 times. 3 times 12 is 36. When we subtract 42 minus 36, we get 6. Then we bring down the 3. 12 goes into 63 5 times. 5 times 12 is 60. And then we subtract 63 minus 60, and we get 3. Then we bring down our next digit, making this 30. 12 goes into 30 2 times. 2 times 12 is 24. We subtract, and we get 6. Oh, now look what happened. We ran out. But remember, after the decimal, we can add as many zeros as we want, and it doesn't change the value of this number. So we can add another 0 here that we can bring down. So now we have 60. 12 goes into 60 5 times. 5 times 12 is 60. When we subtract, we get 0. So we got 0 and we're out of numbers here. So therefore, our answer is 352 and 5/10. So the secret is, first of all, putting the right number inside the division box, then moving the decimal places the same amount for your dividend and your divisor, and then moving up to the quotient. And that is how you divide by decimals. Be sure to practice.